Will you be there on Saturday night watching Cage Side, and then have you thought through about what that'll feel like to watch those guys fighting for the belt that you once had? And is that going to be a weird moment for you? Is it going to make you hungry? How is that going to make you feel?
I will be there Saturday night, front and center, watching the fight. And I haven't really thought about how I'll feel. I'm sure I'll be pumped up afterwards and just majorly like motivated and inspired to get back in the gym and get back, what's mine.
Do you hear DC's comment yesterday when he said you're not welcome back into his octagon if you show up there tomorrow?
I heard about it. I haven't seen it for myself. I think he said something like, if I came into the octagon and it won't be pretty or something like that. I should just see what he meant by that. Maybe go in there. But yeah, I have no intentions on going in there harassing the guy. I want him to enjoy his moment, his last moments with the belt.
Any comments about the word waiting in the morning?
About the weigh-in?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was absolutely nuts. I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. I mean, I watched the guy. Like, if you focus on his hands, you can see him looking down and like balancing out his weight just right to make 205. It's what a clever trick. Pretty dishonest of him. The crazy thing is that it was allowed to happen. I mean, I would imagine there has to be some type of commission or something to go back and see this blatant foul play and address it. No one's addressed it. They just completely got away with doing one of the dirtiest things I've seen in sports. So, yeah.
DC said yesterday that he doesn't buy your defense that you made in terms of why you failed the drug test and branded you a cheater. Are you worried that could be something that hangs over your head throughout your career, or do you think that's just his opinion?
I think it's his opinion. I think deep down he knows that I didn't cheat. Same with, I think Jimmy Malinois just recently came out and said that I was a cheater as well, which I am not. I am not. I've never cheated this sport. Every ounce of my success has been, hard work, dedication, focus, and a lot of God's grace. So, yeah, I've never cheated the sport. I'm not worried about it following me forever because I believe that the fans see what happened in the situation, and for people who aren't aware of the situation, it's well documented. Exactly how it happened, and we're dealing with some really smart people with USADA and their lawyers and things like that, if I had cheated, there would have been a much more strict punishment. I got the minimum because I was proven innocent. So I'm not too worried about it.
And I don't mean to be a stickler, but according to USADA, that was the maximum punishment that you would have received.
Oh, okay.
So they would say that wasn't the case.
Oh, okay.
Do you feel like that? Do you feel like, there's now this label on you? Because in the past, you've always talked about no steroids, you're clean. You did an interview for the documentary, and yet they're refuting your claim. So
right. So what USADA told me was that I am guilty of not going through the proper steps to prevent the whole situation from happening. And that was the only thing I was guilty of. I had the estrogen blocker in my system. There was never any steroids ever found in my system. My testosterone levels have never fluctuated. So if someone wants to call me a steroid user, that is 1,000% false. The word steroids have never been found in my system. I was guilty of having an estrogen blocker in my system. And we found the exact pill that the estrogen blockers came from. USADA themselves tested the pills, and they found that it was a tainted supplement. These are 1,000% facts. So I don't feel like I'll be labeled as a steroid user throughout my career because, quite frankly, I've never had steroids in my system.
What have you learned and what have you come to appreciate about this sport that you have lost, given the fact you've only fought like 3 times in since 4 years?
Yeah. Once in the last 2 years. Since I've been gone, I really had the opportunity to look at my career from a fan perspective almost, instead of being in it. And I just realized how special of a career that I have had, and how incredibly hard of a career I've had. I think my resume, I've beaten some of the toughest guys in our sports history. And just all the endorsements that I've had and all the things that I've lost, it just, it really hits you when you don't have a lot of this stuff. It really hits you. Not only does it make you realize how much work you've put in to get that, and it makes you realize how much hard work it's going to take to get that stuff back. It's hard to answer this question, but yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of getting choked up on words, I guess. But yeah, I just realized that I had a lot, and it hurts to not have it. And I know how much work it's going to take to get it back. I'm just more grateful now for the things I've been able to accomplish than I was back when I was accomplishing them.
What has been the biggest change in your life over the last 12 to 24 months now that everything that came to the fray, now that you're trying to change, everything's going
the biggest changes in my life. Just awareness, just my awareness. I used to do a lot of dumb shit, a lot, and I just took so much for granted. And now I realize how easy it is to find yourself on the wrong track or around the wrong people or just in trouble. So I feel my decision-making skills has increased tremendously. I do a lot more thinking before I act out decisions. So I just feel like I've matured a lot and just a lot more aware.
If Cormier does lose on Saturday night, do you still feel like you've unfinished business with him?
I really don't feel like I have unfinished business with Cormier. I think I have unfinished business with Anthony Johnson. We've had quite a few fights that fell through. But Daniel Cormier, I beat him fair and square. I'm the only guy to ever beat him. And so if anyone has unfinished business, I feel like he has unfinished business with me. Well, Daniel is no greater than any other person that I've defeated. He's just so happened to be undefeated outside of myself. But to me, the guy who beat him, I look at him like he's Stephen Bonner or whoever else I've beaten in the past.
Why should fans really put their trust and their faith back in you again at this point after they've kind of been burned so many times in the past?
Well, I believe that trust and faith is something that should be earned, and I feel as if people don't want to believe that I've matured a lot, then they don't have to, and it's up to me to earn that trust, and just through my actions. I think time will be the judge.
Yeah, and you mentioned not having unfinished business with Rumble there. You've said in the past that you viewed him as a knight with a sharp sword but no shield. Is that kind of? Yeah, that's a.
I like that. It's good.
Is that how you still view him? I mean, it's been a little while since you gave that quote on.
Yeah, I just feel like he's a very one-dimensional fighter. Obviously, he has that wrestling base, and once a wrestler, always a wrestler. But I think he's pretty much fallen in love with his striking and his power. And I think in order to beat a guy like me, you really have to have the whole game down. Your jiu-jitsu, your takedown defense, your takedowns, the whole shebang. And I just don't feel like he's that fighter. He's extremely talented with God-given knockout power. He has a great kickboxing coach, but this sport is mixed martial arts. And I feel like I'm truly the greatest mixed martial artist who's ever walked this planet. Do I think he beats DC? I think he has a very strong chance to do it, a puncher's chance, but if I were to bet, I would put my money on Daniel Cormier just because of the last performance, and it boils right down to what I was just saying about it being, you got to have the total package to be, people at a certain level in the sport, and DC is closer to that level of having that perfect, complete game. So I think Anthony has a great chance, but if I had to bet, I would definitely go with Daniel Cormier.
Can you tell us what the difference is between this Jon Jones and the one from July of 2016?
I feel like I'm pretty much the same guy who was sitting there crying at that conference. I did a lot of work to get back to UFC 200. a lot of cleaning up my life and my circle, and just a lot of work. And to fall back so far because a damn sex pill, and to have people kind of assume that your life isn't together, it's like, it was very hurtful. It was very hurtful that people saw me as this guy who was just fucking up. If I hadn't have taken that sex pill, right now I would be looked at as a person who, I would be the champion again, currently, the belt would be right here, and I would have won that UFC 200, and people would have been already saying, wow, it's so great to see the way Jon changed his life around, and he's doing the right things, and he's becoming a man in front of our eyes. But instead, that one damn pill makes people think, I still don't have the belt right now. I've fought once in 2 years, and the consensus is that, I'm this guy who can't get his shit together. But I feel like my shit's been together for quite a long time, and I'm just excited to let the belt be a reflection of how I've got my life back together.
You've been talking about this damn sex pill. Did you have an inclination? Was there like any feeling at the pit of your stomach that you're like, yeah, did it even cross your mind that could have been what it was?
No. I have been in the UFC for many years, many years, and I have taken sex pills several times throughout my adult life. Highly recommend it, guys. Fucking great. Anyways, I've never failed a drug test. Never once failed a drug test. I just knew it couldn't have been that. I really didn't understand what it was. All my supplements have been the same throughout my career. I've been getting my supplements from the same company for like my whole career. Then I started working with GAT, and the main things I was taking with GAT was just the protein powders and like amino acids and all this type of stuff, BCAAs and stuff. Had no clue that that's what it was, but that's what it was. And there's document to prove that.
Do you look at this as bad luck? Do you look at it as a dumb mistake on your part, or do you think it was just kind of out of your control to a certain extent? Bad luck
for sure. Like I said, that sex pill was intended for one act, and not. So it was just like, how in the hell did this happen? Definitely bad luck. Dumb on my part, because I probably should have taken the rules a lot more serious and literally had everything tested. And I just figured, this was safe because this had nothing to do with sport performance. This was sexual performance, But just dumb on my part for not taking the rules as serious as I should have. Now I literally. I take USADA very, very seriously. I report everything that I take. I let them know everywhere I'm going to be. But at the same time, I'm a very optimistic person, and I'm just like a type of guy who knows that I can fight through any situation. Very hard to be broken and defeated. And I know with time and with a certain amount of energy, you can get past any obstacle. So I just tried to look at the whole situation as it was meant to be. It was meant to be. And that's the way I honestly feel right now. I'm happy with the way this last year has been, even though I wasn't able to compete. I've just been able to, like I said, spend time with my family, focus on my life, my mental, physical, health, spirituality, my game, preserve my body, no concussions, and, just become better.